William Ruto, my friend, do you have the moral authority to talk about corruption? And we sympathize with you because juzi kumekuwa na opinion poll on the most corrupt person in the world. And we are unhappy that you are rigged. Instead of giving you number 1, they give you number 2. Let me say, I want to say, let me say, President William Ruto could not agree me to stay in government because I could not agree to corruption. The Statehouse of Nairobi is the real center of corrupt activities. And there are two, watu wawili, moja anaitwa Adil na mwingine anaitwa Jayesh. These are the conveyors of corruption in this country. Na ndio watu wenye she and sha. Ndio wale watu ya adani. Na hao watu wakija kuona rais, hata ukiwa deputy president kama minister, utamungoja hapo saa 5 akiongea na hiyo watu. Wakipanga hiyo mane? So Mr. President, be an honest man. Look for a mirror before you talk about corruption and look at yourself.
The Kenyan political landscape shifted dramatically in October 2024. Rigathi Gachagua, the deputy president, was impeached. This followed months of tension and a very public falling out with President William Ruto. The move, seen by many as a bold power play by Ruto, backfired spectacularly. Instead of silencing Gachagua, it fueled his ambition. Gachagua wasted no time licking his wounds. He immediately launched into a series of rallies, crisscrossing the country and denouncing his former boss. He accused Ruto of betraying the trust of the Mount Kenya region. He painted a picture of a president out of touch with the needs of ordinary Kenyans. The crowds, especially in the heartland of central Kenya, responded with enthusiasm. There was a sense that Gachagua, despite his ouster, had struck a chord. The question on everyone's mind was, what would Gachagua do next? The answer came sooner than anyone expected. Gachagua announced the formation of his own political party, promising to unveil it in May 2025. He declared his intention to challenge Ruto in the 2027 elections. This was a direct assault on the incumbent, a move unprecedented in Kenya's recent political history. The stage was set for a political showdown of epic proportions. Gachagua's entry into the opposition was a game-changer. He immediately became the most visible and vocal critic of the Ruto administration. His rallies drew huge crowds, and his pronouncements were followed closely by the media and the public alike. He tapped into the growing discontent among Kenyans struggling with the high cost of living. He criticized Ruto's economic policies, accusing him of favoring the wealthy at the expense of the poor. He promised a more inclusive and equitable approach if elected.
Ati ndio mimi nisisaidie nyinyi. Siku nilimsaidia, hakujua mimi ni mkabila. When we voted for William Ruto, we knew he's not a Kikuyu. 87% of my people voted for him. We knew he's not a Kikuyu. 13% voted for Raila Odinga. We knew he's not a Kikuyu. We had our own candidate called Wahiga Mwaura. We never voted for him because we are not tribal. Saa hii ameona tunashikana na watu ya Wiper. Ameona tunashikana na Mulembe Nation. Na hapo Mulembe Nation ndio naona amekwamia hapo. I think it's his last hope. Sasa anakuja huko kusema ati mimi ni mkabila, ati ndio msinikaribishe tusifanye pamoja. President William Ruto, hear it from here, Chui House. The same way Mulima ilisaidia wewe, it is possible tunaweza saidia hii watu ya Mulembe. It is the same way tunaweza saidia huyu Kalonzo. Na sisi hatuna contract na wewe. Deni yetu na wewe tulimali. We had intended to pay you in 2 installments. Tukakupatia the first installment, ukagusa Mulima. Hiyo deni ikafanya nini? Kaisha. We owe you no debt. So, anaenda pale Western, anasema tumefukuza huyu Rigathi Gachagua, at he is corrupt.
Gachagua's message resonated with many, especially in his political backyard of central Kenya. The region, which had overwhelmingly voted for Ruto in 2022, seemed ripe for the picking. Gachagua's charisma and his narrative of betrayal struck a chord with many who felt let down by the Ruto presidency. He wasn't content with simply criticizing from the sidelines. Gachagua understood that to mount a serious challenge, he needed to build a formidable political machine. He embarked on a nationwide tour, meeting with political leaders, elders, and influential figures. His goal was to forge a united front against Ruto. The question was, could he succeed in bringing together a fractured opposition? Gachagua knew that to stand a chance against Ruto, he needed to build a broad coalition. He reached out to former rivals and political heavyweights, seeking common ground. His first port of call was Kalonzo Musyoka, the seasoned politician and leader of the Wiper Party. The two had a history. They'd been on opposing sides in previous elections, but Gachagua understood the importance of Musyoka's support. Musyoka, with his strong base in the eastern region, represented a crucial voting bloc. Gachagua didn't stop there. He extended an olive branch to other key figures who had fallen out with Ruto. Martha Karua, the Iron Lady of Kenyan politics, was courted. Fred Matiang'i, the former Interior Minister, and Eugene Wamalwa, the former Defense Minister, were also approached. Gachagua's message was simple. Ruto's re-election was not inevitable. A united opposition could defeat him. He appealed to their sense of patriotism, urging them to put aside their differences and work together for the good of the country. The response was positive, with many expressing a willingness to explore the possibility of a coalition.
And we shall make whatever sacrifices necessary to make sure that William Ruto is a one-term president. People have short memories. President William Ruto has a very short memory. This team here, we sat with him in my house and we assured him that he'll be president and we'll do whatever it takes to make sure he is president. And we worked very hard. And we took him to Statehouse. And when he reached there, he put aside everything we had agreed on how we need Kenya to be. We had 47 economic charters with each and every county agreeing on the economic interventions that will be required for each county. He put them aside. We had agreed on the payment of pending bills for our business community to bring money into circulation. He put that one aside. We had agreed on the bottom-up economic model of putting money into people's pocket. The minute he reached Statehouse, he changed course. He got a small team of economic advisors and came up with a very brutal program of removing whatever little money was in people's pocket from their pockets. Along the way, I could not agree with him. I couldn't agree with him because I'm a very principled person. And I told him, boss, we have lost focus. This is what we told the people of Kenya. We had assured the people of Kenya that we will never carry out evictions and demolitions that are inhuman. And when he made a decision to evict people from Nairobi River along the line, and the Nairobi River Commission was in my office and he asked me to lead that program, I told him I can't do it because it's against my principle. And he said, you must do it. When we had the Finance Bill 2024, I was a lone voice in cabinet telling him, listening to the people of Kenya, they will not accept this finance bill. And it will leave us with an egg on our face. He became intolerant. He became dictatorial. And the government that he leads is a one-man show. I can tell you today, all those ministers you see there, they are flower girls. I was the only man in that cabinet who could stand up and tell him, hey boss, no, this can't work. And that's why he needed me out, so that he can put a protege and other fellows just to say, yes sir, yes sir. It's a praise and worship choir for the president. And I couldn't fit in that choir. I couldn't fit in that choir. You know, And he is very bitter, extremely angry, very irritable, that for a whole 6 days he's just abusing me in Western Kenya. Rigathi Gachagua is not a road in Webuye. He is not a hospital in Vihiga. He is not a water pan in Kakamega. He is not a slaughterhouse in Bungoma. President of the Republic of Kenya has gone to Western for 6 days, just talking about Rigathi Gachagua, occasionally Kalonzo Musyoka, because he's bitter that his voting bloc, the one that made him president, the Mount Kenya bloc, is gone and gone and gone forever. And I told him, it is his own undoing. I told him, don't touch the mountain. See the Bible. If you read the Exodus, I told him, don't. Many times. But it's because he has some young MPs he moves around with. Young boys who are born in towns and brought up with Serelak. They don't know the community. So they tell him, no, it's okay, no problem. Mulima ni yako, wewe ulikuja huko mwenyewe. Hawa watu ni wako, hata ukitoa huyu weke huyu hakuna shida. Nikamwambia mimi ni mzee. Hawa watu mimi nawajua. These fellows on the mountain, they hate betrayal and they hate deception. Because of what Mzungu did to them, they hate betrayal. And you yourself, President William Ruto, you are a beneficiary of my community's distaste for betrayal. When they decided that Uhuru Kenyatta has betrayed you, they turned against Uhuru for betraying you in their view and voted for you. And you are not one of them. They hated one of their own to support you, and you are not one of their own. If you betray one of their own, you will tell me the story. Today, as we speak, his messages of condolences are unwelcome in the mountain. And you know that's the lowest it can go. You know funerals are very solemn. In my community where I come from, even if it is suspected you had a hand in the death of the person being buried, people still allow you to come and even give condolences. When people say they cannot listen to your condolence, you know it's over. The other day we were in Embu, and they are trying to blame Justin Muturi Bidan because the people rejected his condolence message. The president wrote him abusive messages the whole night, threatening to sack him. But even if you sack Bidan Muturi, nothing will change in that area. Nothing. And I told him, and he cannot say I did not tell him. Because me, I'm an honest man. I sat him down and I said, boss, you believe my now, why he's annoyed is because 47% of his support, 4 million votes, iko nje. Sasa anategemea ati Raila akienda AU, he can transfer zile zake. Zile za Raila zilikuweko za Wiper, they are not there. Ile ya Mlembe, it's not there. Hii ya Kisii, it's not there. Huyu jamaa amekwama. Amekwama. And I can tell you, because I know him, he is cornered. Kazi yetu rahisi sana is to stay together and unite our people. Mimi naomba jamii ya Mlembe.
Looming over this political chess game was the enigmatic figure of Raila Odinga. The veteran opposition leader, after losing the 2022 presidential election, had taken a back seat but remained a powerful force in Kenyan politics. His next move was a subject of intense speculation. Ruto, aware of Odinga's influence, had made overtures to him. He had even campaigned for Odinga's unsuccessful bid for the African Union Commission chair. There were rumors of a possible deal, with Odinga being offered a significant role in the government, perhaps even the deputy presidency, in exchange for his support. Gachagua, on the other hand, viewed Odinga with suspicion. He saw Odinga as a potential rival, someone who could upend his own presidential ambitions. He publicly urged Odinga to join his coalition, but privately, he feared that Odinga might be tempted by Ruto's offer. Odinga, for his part, remained non-committal. He kept his cards close to his chest, watching the political drama unfold with a mixture of amusement and calculation. his silence only added to the intrigue. Would he be the kingmaker, throwing his weight behind either Ruto or Gachagua? Or would he emerge from the shadows to contest the presidency himself? The answer to that question held the key to the 2027 elections.
If you think the people of Kenya are very intelligent, Rigathi Gachagua has not been associated with any scandal in this country. So wewe unaenda pale unasema he is incompetent. In matters of incompetence, Mr. President, I tend to agree with you to a certain extent. Serikali yako ni ya uongo, kutenga, kudanganya watu. Uliandika mkataba na watu ya Western, ukamjema utajenga 1000 kilometers, hujajenga. Umekuwa hapo juzi unafungua transformer. Wewe mimi ulitaka nikusaidie kudanganya wa Kenya. In matters kudanganya wa Kenya, Mr. President, I'm incompetent. Absolutely. I accept. Because hiyo alikuwa anataka tuende kulaunch barabara na anajua hakuna budget, tukitoka matinga inafanya nini? Sasa hiyo ndio kazi rais anataka nimsaidie. Ndio anasema huyu haelewi program za serikali. Sasa kwenda kupeleka matinga ukijua hakuna kazi inafanya, hiyo ni program ya serikali. He was telling me to go and defend Adani. Tulikuwa na Eugene Wamalwa, huyu mheshimiwa, na Onyonga kwa mazishi Kitale. Huyu Onyonga akaamuka, akalima serikali mambo ya Adani, na mimi nakaa tu pale. I don't want to nod because I'm still in office. That Adani thing is the worst form of corruption in this country. So mimi nilipoamuka, I never responded. So one of the PAs ya Mkubwa akanipigia simu. Mtu yuko huko, mtu ya 36. Wewe ni Deputy President ya saa ngapi? Maana ya Deputy President, you speak last. Dio ile maneno yote iko baya ya serikali ukanu. Kwa nini huyo Nyonga alilima serikali mambo ya Adani and you are not defending? Nikamwambia I cannot answer you. Tell your boss to call me. So President amenipigia, nimemwambia mimi siwezi. That thing is corruption. I cannot defend it, Mr. President. I cannot. That is why he is saying I was not defending government programs. Sasa corruption, is it a government program?
In the heart of the conflict, tensions reached their peak. Each side, driven by a desperate need to survive, clashed with unrelenting force. The stakes had never been higher, and the outcome would shape the future for generations to come. As the battle raged on, it became clear that only one side could emerge victorious. In this moment of chaos and determination, the true nature of courage and resilience was revealed. Every decision, every move, could mean the difference between life and death. This was not just a fight for territory, but a battle for survival itself. As we look ahead, the political landscape of Kenya presents a mix of challenges and opportunities. Various experts predict that the coming years will be crucial for the nation's development. The decisions made today will shape the future for generations to come. So, what can we expect? Well, let's take a moment to imagine what the future might hold for Kenya. With advancements in technology and a growing emphasis on education, the potential for economic growth is immense. However, this will require strategic planning and a commitment to addressing underlying issues such as corruption and inequality. The future of Kenya hinges on its ability to harness its strengths and address its weaknesses. From its vibrant youth population to its rich natural resources, the country has the tools needed for success. But will the political will be there to drive the necessary changes? Only time will tell.
So wanasema ati I'm incompetent, hii mtu hakuna kitu anaelewa. Sasa kama serikali ni wizi tupu, sasa what is there to defend? Walinipeleka Senate ati nimekataa watu watolewe Nairobi River. Walinishitaki nimekataa watu wafukuzwe Marigiti Market. Those are things I could not do. Ukiangalia hii maneno ya affordable housing, it is the worst fraud against the people of Kenya. And it's good today I tell the country, And those are things he was telling me to go to TV to defend. I told him I will not. Mimi pia nikichwa ngumu. That housing, initially we believed in the president. That ni ya kuleta ajira, nini, maneno kizungu mingi, we looked okay. Until it came to my attention, it has nothing to do with housing. Ni biashara. Ya kwamba PS wa housing. Ukitaka kujenga affordable housing, you must go and sign a subcontract na kampuni ile tauza simiti na chuma na mabati. Na hiyo kampuni watu wale wakubwa zaidi Kenya wako ndani ya wapi? So this housing levy inatolewa kwa watu ya Kenya is to make sure these houses are going on, ndio hao wauze simiti, wauze chuma, wauze mabati. That is what the president is accusing me of not understanding and being incompetent. Sasa mimi nauliza, na mimi nataka niseme, I want to assure the people of Kenya, this team I see here, and when I listen to the people of Kenya, because I listen a lot, once a new government is sworn in, that housing levy will have to be abolished so that we restore the dignity of the payslip. The dignity of the payslip. Wakenya wamehangaishwa zaidi.
Kenya stands at a critical juncture. With the right leadership and policies, it has the potential to become a beacon of progress in Africa. However, without careful management, the risk of political instability and economic stagnation looms large. The choices made now will determine the nation's path forward. So, what will Kenya's future look like? The answer lies in the hands of its people and leaders.